Hold on, I'm checking my mental palace. The narrator is checking their mental palace. Okay, great. It is Primity, the 21st of Germinal 7932 year of Cosgrove, and it is still raining since yesterday. It hasn't let up. If it weren't for Jonathan Fairlight being in town, sticking around and charging gold coins from the village for much needed supplies, you guys would be in a much desperate situation. But he has turned out to be one of the most helpful villagers so far. Even yesterday, he went on an adventure with you, riding Lucky, just so you guys could have like an exit strategy. And also, while going dungeon crawling, like into caves, you can't bring a horse in there. So it's good to have someone who can just watch the horse at the entrance. And Jonathan Fairlight proved himself. He stayed by the entrance and waited for you guys. Um, and we start in the early morning hours of Primity, the 21st of Germinal. Still raining, dark. I'm going to ask, who is on night watch this night?
I'll take first watch.
Okay. So, Svardfisk, you are there near the center of camp. There has been an escort of Vargas's men-at-arms that have uh, been guarding the town. There are only about 6 of them, plus one Captain Danver Brogel. Captain Danver Brogel, again, is also a man-at-arms, so not a knight, not with a title, but someone who, basically a peasant soldier. Um, Captain Danver Brogel, he's short for a human. He's got short black hair and blue eyes. He's of an average build. Um, and he wears chainmail tabard, skullcap, carries a spear, and shield. Also has a wineskin under his arm. The tabard, of course, has is yellow with or red with a gold trim. It's a chalice pouring water over a rose bush. As you look out, Svardfisk Farron, at the beyond the campfire's light's edge, and your elven eyes aglow with night vision, you see in the very distance, about half a mile away, a bunch of red eyes looking back at you. There's a squad to the south, another squad south by southwest, and another squad that's more western. Captain Denver Brogel turns to you and says, not as just about the same as there were yesterday. Whatever you guys did must have stymied them. But they haven't lost interest.
Then perhaps stymieing is not enough.
I would agree with that.
Here, have your men keep watch. Let's gather the others and decide how we want to escalate things for our friends. I instruct him to gather half the men while I get the other half, and we meet round the campfire.
You mean bring all the men at arms to the...
Oh, well, I would like to keep 3 men at arms on. Wait, you said there was
6 and
there was 3.
6 and Captain Danver Brogel.
Well, and how many squads coming from how many directions again?
They're not coming from any direction. They are merely standing and looking.
Okay, but how many and in what direction?
There's about 3 squads of 6, one to the south, one south by southwest, and another to the west.
Have your men keep an eye on the squads 2 by 2. If they see anything, that way one can run back to report while another one is keeping an eye on the situation. While that's going on, you and myself are going to round up the other members of our party to discuss our next move. While we're doing that, head back out, check in on your men, and keep them organized.
Yes, sir. He kind of gives you a smirk, like, oh, But he does as you say. He just gives you a little snark about it.
Used to it by now.
Okay, and it seems that Merid has. Hold on. I'm getting a message here. Oh, it appears Merid's internet just crashed. Hold on. We'll I guess round up the. Oh, he's back! Yay!
His internet crashed. Those damn goblins.
The goblin man.
Idiot.
They are. Yeah.
That's what they're doing out there. They're chewing on the fiber lines.
They're like rats.
Okay, so I guess gather the rest of the players, and I guess I ask, like, is anybody else, any other character, awake at this time, or are they asleep, or maybe they can't sleep, they're trying to sleep, but like things are anxious, describe how Svardfisk finds you. So Svardfisk, like, I guess which character do you look for first?
Obviously, the one I trust the most, though I know him little, my cousin, Merid.
Okay, Merid?
Sounds like he's not quite back yet.
Okay, maybe go for another player or character.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Brock Half Giant.
Brock Half Giant is up. He's been up for an hour, getting ready for the day, as he is anxious and eager to do something after these days of rain. Game Master, can you answer a couple of questions for me?
Sure. I can answer a couple questions.
So, the last time Brock was here, he arranged to have food brought to the camp. Did that follow through?
Oh yeah. You guys have more than enough hardtack.
Okay, great. Another question I have is this guy, Captain Daver Brogal, is his name?
Danver Brogel.
Danver Brogal. What's he doing here? He's new to me, so I'm wondering what's the situation.
So basically, why Danver Brogel is there is, you guys had the first goblin attack, or the first, not goblin attack, sorry. It was just a group of goblins, and they were watching your camp. And
right.
So during the adventures of the day, what they decided to do was talk to Lady Vargas. They didn't contact Lady Vargas directly, but they did let Lady Vargas's soldiers know at camp that goblins are coming back.
Okay. And is there anything just generally that our characters know about goblins in general? Like are they an intelligent folk, or are like they little demons from hell? It's like, do we have any sort of idea of what they are?
Yes. Goblins are very crafty. They're at the bottom of the barrel of the greenskins, like in the hierarchy of things. But as far as goblins specifically, they are crafty, but they are also opportunistic, mercurial, and above all else, cowardly.
Right.
Danver Brogel in the last session explained that while the goblins may not necessarily be attacking now, they're probably just like making calculations and looking for weaknesses, because at this point they're not confident that they can defeat the camp, but that could change as they strategize and stuff.
But they're intelligent. They have language, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, and also they have explosives. In yesterday's session, they were hiding a cache of explosives in ruins a mile away, but
Okay.
you blew it all up. So yeah, they have some ingenuity.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think Svardfisk, you find Brock just as he's coming out of his tent, putting his hood up against the rain, and looks eager to start.
I approach, see your state of readiness, and greet you and say, Brock, good. This will save us a lot of time. We're gathering by the fire. To no surprise, we are being observed again.
By the goblins.
That would be right.
All right. Well, something must be done.
Yeah, I'm on
And
my way to gather the others. If you'll meet us by the fire, we'll see you there shortly.
see you there. And I will go to the fire and wait for the others.
All right, rounding about, I visit Stickbeard.
Having the chance to actually get sleep. Nah, I'd actually this is still the first watch, so I would have actually tried to get some sleep. So
Well, then I will. You are. I knock very brusquely upon your what are we dealing with here? Your door, your tent flap.
yeah, that works. So just like oh, then I look up and it's like, oh, where did Vardavisk. They're back, aren't they?
Good. That will save us some time.
Give me a minute. I'll be there. The fire, right?
Yep, the fire.
All right. And yeah, I'll take a minute. Clothes, weapons, tools, what have you.
All right. Ashamis, are you with us? How shall we move forward?
The thing. Hold on. Just gather.
Hey guys,
Oh,
really
hey,
sorry.
great.
My internet is down. I cannot do anything on Roll20. All I can do is be on Discord on my phone at the moment.
That's not a problem. I can manipulate your token for you, and
Yeah.
So I guess at this juncture, Svardvisk Farron is looking for his cousin.
Okay, I missed a bunch of that while I was trying to figure out a way to at least get on this portion of the stream.
He's gathering the players. Like, not much information has been said yet.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess Merid. Is Merid being called for out loud or?
Well, it's night. So, are you like sleeping? Are you out? Like, what's Merid doing?
Okay. How late into the night are we?
2 a.m.
2 a.m. Yeah, probably hanging out under a tree, taking a nap.
Do I know where to find him?
Yeah, you guys have it. Like you guys have scoped out a sweet tree. Like the moment you got here.
Okay, right on. So I'm off to the tree then. To wake Marid, I approach him softly and place my hand upon his shoulder.
Merritt comes to in a bit of a start, looks up. Sparfisk, what are you doing here?
I came because this is where I knew I could find you, and unfortunately the goblins know where to find us too. I'm gathering the party to the fire. Will you join us?
I shall.
All right, and we head off to the fire.
Merritt bounds up and follows Sparfisk.
Okay, you guys gather around the campfire. Captain Danver is there with two other men at arms.
What have you to report?
All right. Well, has anybody tried talking to the goblins yet?
I, I, I don't speak. And there's a smirk from Captain Brogel, and he goes, "I don't speak Goblin. Do you? How about?" And he points to you, Svartvisk, and goes, "How about you, fearless leader? Do you speak Goblin?"
Not any better than you.
One of you does understand Goblin, though. I will let him
We've
speak
got
for himself.
We have Hobgoblin. Me?
Yeah, is Hobgoblin close enough?
No.
No, it's it. I know it's a joke, but I actually understand them. But I thought, like, it's quite clear that they mean to try and do us harm. Like, they're out for blood. There's no negotiating with these creatures.
They were storing. You saw with your own eyes, Stickbeard. They were storing munitions a mile away from here.
Yeah. So many red barrels.
Well, they're hardly going to blow anything up in this rain. And if
Then we have the
someone
advantage.
and if someone were to come by our camp and see all of our weapons lying around, they might presume ill intent from us as well.
Just these, I am struggling to think of a time where there was a negotiation with goblins.
There was no negotiation, but several times when we were scouting them, we overheard them talking about plans to raid our camp.
Well, that sounds hostile.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm remembering this right.
Yes, you are remembering this right.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
All right. Well, I will help you all with whatever action we decide. But I will point out that we will never have as good an opportunity to make friends as we do right now. If we decide that they are our enemies, then I will slay them if I must. If we have any chance of making them our friends, now is the time to do it.
And as you finish that sentence, one of the guards runs towards the campfire and goes, Captain, you gotta see this. And there's something going on with those goblin squads.
Can you elaborate?
I can't see in the dark. I don't know what's going on, but like something's upsetting them.
Merritt asks, which direction?
To the southwest.
All right.
All right.
Merritt will take a bit of a stroll that direction, being it as I can see in the dark a little bit.
And I think Brock will come along with him.
So yeah, only with your Brock, with your human eyes, you can see like something's going on. Like the shadow is like shaking. The shadowy figures are shaking in the distance. However, Merid, with your, infravision, you see this like much bigger than a human, not a giant, but bigger than a human, like growling and just like with huge arms, just breaking goblins and like biting on one goblin on its shoulder and like ripping its flesh off and
Standing on
screaming.
2 feet or 4.
Huh?
Standing on 2 feet or 4.
Two. And as it's grunting and stuff, you immediately recognize Orcish.
Oh.
And
Hello.
it just starts like it's like beating up the goblins and like eating them. And the other goblin squads are starting to meet that squad. They're like starting to close in on the orc. And the orc is taking some hits too. It's not like he's like totally owning them. Just but he is dominating the fight for now. But he is taking hits. And yeah, all the men at arms just kind of like squint in the dark, and they're not like quite sure what's going on. And Brock, you're kind of there with them. You're kind of like, what am I looking at?
And I'm who am I here with? I'm here with Merid.
Merid, yeah.
Well, I will.
We've got an orc on our hands. Which friend do you want to try and make?
Well, let's find out. And I will grab a torch in one hand and draw my sword with the other, and I will run towards the commotion.
Captain Brogel's like, "You're kidding. You're kidding, right?" And you keep. I assume you keep walking.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going at a brisk jog.
Okay. Yeah, eventually, there's this frustrated sigh from Captain Brogel, and he raises his spear and shield. He's like, "Ed, Tyler, with me now."
Merid stays as close to Brock as possible so he can keep an eye on what we're moving towards and goes along.
The other goblin squads see you guys approach, and they run away. You guys close in on the orc fighting the one squad. There is one goblin left, as you guys are about 100 feet away. There's one goblin left, and he stabs the orc like right through the gut. But not before but right after that, the orc then grabs the goblin's neck and snaps it.
Ugh.
And then
Punch.
sits on like a nearby rock and starts huffing as it's like bleeding out. And the orc looks up at you and just starts huffing. And that's when Captain Brogel's like, "Ed, ready your crossbow."
I will look to the captain, and I will remind him that he is a guest here.
Not in my house.
What? It's no. If we got it down right now. Let's just take care of it. What's one more dead greenskin?
And I think Brock will turn, obviously just full of frustration, and get right in the captain's face and say, "Is everybody on this Cosgrove forsaken land as foolish as you? Are you so allergic to learning that you will kill things before even speaking to them?"
After he says that, Merid will call to the orc to see if he can elicit any response despite the damage he's taken.
Well, I mean, like, what do you say to the orc?
Oh, he calls out to the orc. He's like, What what would you what would you be doing here fighting so many of these goblins on your own?
I'll kill every last one of them. Every last one of them. And he looks up at you with his gleaming red eyes. Keebler.
So would you kill me too?
If I could.
If
Lift
you
these
could.
hands. You're here to watch me die. And then he spits some of his blood on the ground.
We just
that's-
came to see what was happening over here.
So Captain Brogel finally goes, fine, you know what? Go ahead. Leave the orc alive. But he'll kill you at night. And eat you.
Well,
Got to catch me first.
at least then I will be of value to somebody.
He gives like a frustrated huff and he's like, come on, guys. And they walk back to camp.
And I will turn to Merid, and I will say low enough that the orc cannot hear us. Well, presumably.
Mhm.
And I will say, Merid, if you would be so kind as to cover me, I'm going to see what I can do for this man.
Absolutely.
And I will put my sword away, and I will approach the orc, and I will say,
You called him a man.
aren't we all?
There.
And I will call out to I will put my sword away. I will call out to the orc as I approach. Sir, if you will permit it, I will try to save your life.
He looks at you. So like as you like get closer, he starts kind of growling at you and trying to stare you down. But as you talk, he seems confused.
Sure.
As an effort, Merid will reiterate what Brock has just said in Orcish.
Keep me as some pet. I've already done that enough. I'm done being someone's pet.
He merely wants you to live.
All this is in Orcish, by the way, Brock.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm looking to Merid to kind of for guidance, so
Help
I'll
mediate.
just hold off on approaching until he says it's okay.
Help mediate. Can he approach you? He means no harm. He wants to see you live. If he wanted you dead, he'd have kept his sword out.
Are you with the others that freed me from my chains? And you guys do know, like, during the goblin excavations, there was talk of letting a orc loose.
I'm not sure Merid was part of that one.
No, but there was talk of it around camp.
Okay. And it was our crew that was talking about that.
I was there for that. I would have told people. I would have probably made it sound kind of gruff, but yeah, I would have told people.
Okay. But so yes, it was our crew.
No. Then I will trust you for now.
And I will Merid says to Brock, be wary, but you can get closer.
All right. Well, I will approach this orc. I'm sure Brock has seen his share of grisly combat wounds in his life. So he's going to see about, well, first to check to see if this guy is just like a dead man walking and it's just a matter of time, or if there's something that Brock can do.
All you have to do is stop the bleeding.
Okay. Well, then I will go into my pack for some rags and go about patching him up.
All right. Merritt stays close for the moment.
So
Yeah.
you hate those goblins too?
We're not sure about them yet. They've been crowding our camp for a few days now. They seem to be increasing their vigilance over us these last few days. We heard a commotion and thought it might be them, only to find you and them.
It's more than just your camp. King Scratch has something bigger planned. When within the last few months has organized those weasels, rats. And he almost like snaps a tusk, clenching his teeth, thinking about goblins.
King Scratch, huh?
When you say that name, he spits and goes, I would love to just take a bite off of his head just once.
Is he the guy leading that ragtag crew?
That ragtag crew has started an operation. You guys are just one step into it. In fact, King Scratch wasn't planning on it until he found out about your camp a few days ago. Then he decided to kind of add you to the plan, so to speak.
I'll spit all this information back at Brock as he's finishing up the wound dressing, I suppose. There seems to be a leader behind this group of goblins. And we're not the only thing that they've got their eye on.
All right. Well, Brock's going to like kind of rub his face, obviously displeased by this news. Very well. We may have to go chasing after these goblins after all. What is our new friend's name?
I'll work that out. Do you have a name?
Yes. Checking my mental palace. Hold on.
My name is Merritt, and this is Brock Half Giant.
I am Vothug.
Vothig. Well, Vothig. Seems your wound is fairly superficial. Like you took some damage, but you'll live. If Brock's right. You can do as you please. But if you would like, you could probably work some stuff out with your cohorts.
The only thing I want to work out is how to kill every last goblin in those caves.
Do you know the layout of the caves very well?
I don't know everywhere, but, they couldn't hide everything from me. Also, goblins are very loudmouthed. They're so smart, and They're so arrogant that they have to tell everyone how great their plans are, especially King Scratch.
We should invite this guy into camp, give him a meal. He can tell us all about the goblins. And if he's willing, he might be able to act as a guide when we go back to the caves.
Well, Vathig, my my partner here would like to extend an offer to you to come and sit with us, have some food perhaps, rest up a bit, and perhaps chat some more.
It's been a while since I had a meal. Lead the way.
All right. Shall we, Brock? He says he'll come along.
All right, I'll extend in a hand to the orc to help him to his feet.
He slaps it away. It's like, I can move on my own. And he, gets up. It pains him to do it, but,
Mm-hmm.
And then that's actually, Brock, there is kind of this moment of realization for you, like, because as he stands up, he's like a full head and shoulders taller over you.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives a kind of this smirk, like, small. But he doesn't say small, he's just kind of.
Of course.
He just. And then he limps, following you back to camp.
All right, let's explain this to the rest.
All right. Back to camp we go. Now, who all-
So the other men at arms are like, what's going on? And then eventually, like, Captain Brogel, actually, it's like Ed kind of like taps Captain Brogel on the shoulder and points. And Captain Brogel's like, you're having him over for tea?
And a hot meal. Why don't you get it?
I am not your errand boy. I am only sent here by Lady Vargas to protect the camp.
I truly wish that Lady Vargas had sent us a smarter captain. It is clear that you have never fought any brush war in your life. And I will gesture at the orc, confident in the fact that he can understand me, and say, this man is a local. He knows the tunnels that we are to enter. He knows the enemy we are to face, and you would have let him bleed out in the field.
Captain Brogel, like, obviously flustered, just, I've got patrols to do, and just leaves the campfire.
And I will turn back to my friends, and I will say, let that be a lesson that titles do not make men. Captain, indeed.
Well said, Brock. Well said.
So, for Stickbeard and myself by the fire, how are we met with this encounter?
Ah, I recognize that green one.
You do?
I was there when we let him go.
You let him go.
And I retell the story of how we found him in the cage, chained up. We gave him a pie, a meat pie that we had gotten from one of the towns. And he ate it. We let him go. Nobody in the group spoke Orcish at the time, if I remember right. So
Yep.
all we got was him just booking it. And we're like, I wonder if we'll ever see him again.
And
well,
now
now
he's
there's two people here who can speak orcs, so.
Yep.
I would like to approach this orc, if I may.
I'm going to follow a half step behind you and watch.
What is it, Keebler?
All right, Green and Jolly. What do you want here?
For now, a hot meal sounds nice.
And after that?
I don't know, I was thinking of eating that short one wearing the fancy tabard. He seemed to be making a whole lot of noise. It annoyed me.
I laugh
And I
and
say
say,
he annoys us too.
yeah, he annoys us too. All right, no, he's all right.
I'll go ahead and grab him some hot food.
Some hardtack. What do you
Yeah.
just warm it over a fire?
Well, no, I mean you got to warm up some of the water with a little bit of the bread in it, which gives it a flavor, and then you dip the rest of the hardtack in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so he starts eating it and is appreciative of it. And eats very sloppily and makes like the most disgusting noises.
Gross. All right, so what's the end game here? What's our next move? Why is this orc in our camp, and why is he bleeding out all over the campfire?
So he was just fighting one of those groups of goblins that's been watching over us the last few days. And apparently, he has gleaned that the leader of those goblins has decided that our camp is kind of his own little pet project. And since
no,
he
no.
knows where
He
all
he.
that stuff's at,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, no, he knows where all that stuff's at. We thought we'd invite him over and see if he might be able to help us out and we can help him. His name is Vothig, by the way.
Vothic.
Yes, and apparently the leader of the group that's been watching us is King Scratch. My balls.
I turn to Brock at this time and I ask, so are negotiations still on the table?
Unfortunately, with this new information, it seems that these local goblins are not here to make friends. But I think that with Vothag's help, we can scatter them and put their plans to rest.
I think we're all in agreement about that.
Very well. So, who all speaks Orcish in the party?
Right now, Sparbisk and Merid, I don't know about Stickbeard, but I doubt it.
I don't speak Orcish. I speak Goblin and Hobgoblin, but not Orcish.
All right. Well, if the elves want to talk to Vothag and get in any information out of him, like how many goblins are there, if he knows the layout of the dungeon, that sort of thing, and if he can, and maybe float the idea of him coming with us, because if he wants to get revenge on the goblins, that's what we're gonna go and do.
You want to go to take the goblins down, and you want him to come along if he's able and willing.
I think he'd be an asset.
All right.
Not only does he know the caves, but he's obviously an able fighter, and one more of those won't hurt.
Definitely, if he can take on that number by himself, with our aid, we could probably get a lot further.
Well, I think regardless, I mean, I'm just going to ask our game master at this time. Vothig, how with it is he right now? I mean, his wounds have been dressed, but I mean, he kind of got the shit kicked out of him, yeah?
Yeah, there are like bruises all over his face, and he's wearing like this ruined tunic, and there's a big bloody hole in it, and bandages wrapped around his side with a blood stain. And yeah, he is kind of limping around. You're not sure about fighting shape, but perhaps, he could act kind of like Jonathan Fairlight, follow you to the dungeon entrance, but not go in with you.
And as long as he could give us some direction once we're inside, like before we go in, be like, take this path, this route should lead you to something of value.
All right. Well, how are orcs with maps? Shall we get some parchment?
Hey, Lothig, can you draw at all, or can you just speak?
I can I can give a rough outline. I'm no artist.
Anything would be more than nothing. If we told you we were planning to go ahead and try to take these goblins down, do you think you could provide us with some directions?
I think I can.
How about you rest here for a minute and we'll make preparations.
He goes back to eating noisily.
So it seems he's got some drawing skills. He said he's not great, but it would be more than nothing if we can at least get a general guideline. What do you say we kind of help him rest up for a minute and make some plans to start going from there?
I'd say that would be the most practical. Change up our watch, allow the orc a rest, allow ourselves a rest, gather ourselves in the morning, and with our intel, figure, then make the decision. Then our next move.
Yes, I agree.
All right, who wants to take the next watch?
We're
Oh,
coming up on
the
dawn.
rest of the night goes uneventful.
Woo.
The sun rises. Oh yeah, by the way, as the sun rises, the orc does start getting really uncomfortable.
We should,
He's indoors. Indoors.
yeah,
I need
yeah,
away from the sun.
yeah.
Ah
I was just
ah.
thinking about that. Can we stick him in a storehouse or something?
There there's a tent
Is it big enough for him?
for just him. Yes.
All right. He can take mine. We'll say that. Although
Meanwhile,
I'm a
air
small self.
and then as morning rises, air spec half giant approaches you, Brock, and goes, Is that an orc?
Tis
What? What? What's the orc doing here?
helping us.
He kind of has this look of bewilderment, but then he like looks at you, and you're being sincere, and he's like, "Okay, Brock, I trust you, but wow." And he just kind of shakes his head and slaps your shoulder.
And I will say to him, our guest will need to be watched, of course, but should be treated as a guest.
If you say so. Just, he's not gonna try and eat us or anything.
Not yet.
I imagine not immediately. He's well fed for now.
Yeah, he laughs that off and just walks on by to get breakfast.
Just
Mhm.
I will say Merritt overheard that a little bit, and he says to what was the other half giant?
Air spec.
Airspec. He says to Airspec, that is if he does decide to go for us, it won't be any of this immediate group that he goes for first, and just kind of leave it at that. Referring to our annoying guy.
All right. Well, it kind of sounds like our orc friend can't really travel during the day.
Yeah.
Well, can we orchestrate a large enough shroud for our orcish friend that he would feel comfortable traveling? I mean, he's in a tent, so we just need to figure out how to get him to walk around with a tent on him.
Are you
Well,
saying this
We
out
need a
loud?
Trojan
Are,
horse.
are you saying this out loud?
I mean, it's not like the orc can understand
Right.
common.
No. Right. No, he can't understand. Well, as you guys are saying this out loud, Jonathan Fairlight kind of like peers around the corner from a tent. Jonathan Fairlight, he's a tall black guy, wears tunic, athletic build, has short black hair, and yeah. He's been hanging out in your town ever since you found him in Berry Pont, and he's the one who's been supplying you guys with a bunch of supplies. And as you guys are talking about, how are we going to rig something for the orc? He goes, I may have a solution for you.
Let's hear it.
Well, for 50 gold, I do have these attachments that are very popular in the very south regions of the desert. You see, it's like a little tent that goes over the saddle.
So let me see if I understand this correctly. At this exact moment, you have the exact solution that we need for moving an orc around in daylight, conveniently ours for just 50 gold. I give him the most incredulous look I can muster.
Well, I mean, you can see it if you want. Here, just you have to come back over to my two draft horses, Bonnie and Clydesdale.
Oh my god.
And it's not the exact solution. It sounds like a horse tent?
Yeah, basically, it's like what they. You see them on horses. You also see them on camel. Actually, you also see them on elephants.
Yeah, I was gonna say elephants. That's where I would see it's basically like a 4-poster canopy that hangs out on said 4-legged creature.
Yeah.
So it'll at least cover him up, but
Those
Well,
Stickbeard, you do know that once you guys get to the caves, there will be plenty of shady walls that he could just stand behind.
yeah,
Wow,
how close
that's,
are the caves?
better than my
Well,
idea. I was just gonna have him wear
Let
a tent
me
as a shawl.
go to the world map. Okay,
All
you
right.
might have to zoom in and readjust to see everything. But here's the world map. And where are the caves? They are right there.
It's not that far.
yeah, that looks pretty doable. If the orc Vothig is comfortable with it.
Well, let's
Yeah.
wrestle him up like a hooded cloak or something. Just something to cover his skin and see if he'll go for that.
I have ponchos for 3 silver.
Oh my god, this guy.
I'll go ahead and just buy a poncho.
Okay, so yeah, mark whatever money you've spent. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, your haul is in a handout. I don't know if you knew that or not. Also,
I saw that.
Yeah, no, I was looking at that, yeah.
Also, all those items are up for grabs on your spelunking adventure, so go ahead and equip yourself with whatever.
Does anybody here use a shield other than me?
I can use any armor, but I don't specifically use it. I primarily have just a crossbow and a dagger.
Yeah, that's basically the same boat I'm in, except I have a longbow.
Okay, well I'll grab the silver shield if nobody is opposed to
Yeah.
that.
Go for it. Do you not have a shield at all yet?
I have a regular shield, but the silver shield is +1.
Aha.
It'll make your tank tankier.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, if he wants to throw his regular shield at my face, I could use that when using the dagger.
Yep, I'll just pass it over.
Sweet. And then you take the special one.
I was about to say, roll the hit.
Wow, we actually have a lot more bits of money than I thought sitting in there. I didn't look at that number earlier.
Yeah, we're friggin'
Well,
loaded.
unless anybody objects, I would like to go ahead and take that wand of detect magic and use
Yeah,
that.
you should totally make that a thing.
So,
Alrighty.
yeah, just a quick crash course on wands, rods, and staves. Anybody can use a rod. Only elves and magic users can use wands, and staves are either going to be arcane staves, which mean only elf and wizards can use it, or it's going to be a divine staff, so only clerics can use it.
Gotcha. Ooh, there's a ring of invisibility sitting there.
Yeah, where did that come from?
That was your first goblin adventure.
Okay. Do we know how it works? Let me see if I got it. Here.
So if you attack while invisible, you're no longer invisible until combat's over, effectively.
Gotcha.
This has an activated word. You use the elvish word. You whisper the elvish word for sneak, and it turns you invisible while wearing it.
All right. Well, somebody should grab that. Probably not me.
I kind of would like to. I'm fairly small and don't have a lot to take in terms of damage. And I can only deal a little bit of damage. It might be nice just to be able to get through an area.
All right. That'll also put you on scouting duty, so you might find yourself up ahead of the group,
Sure.
like invisible by yourself. So if you're
Yeah.
willing to take on that risk, then
Yeah.
go for it.
All right.
Oh, by the way, I would like to amend my earlier statement. I said I had a longbow. I have a short bow.
Oh, well. That's definitely different. Range wise. Still doing
Easy.
damage at range.
Easy mistake for an emasculated elf to make.
Meh. What did you say the activation for the ring was again?
The
The elvish word for sneak.
Uh-huh.
Oops, sorry.
Power
No,
word
that's
sneak.
Okay. So you guys have you've also spent your gold for the poncho and the
Tent
tent.
on a horse
Yep.
or creature. Oh, I now I want to know what the name of that thing really is.
And we are. I guess you guys are heading towards the caves then, yeah?
Yep. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Vothag goes for it. He's going to come with us.
Yeah, I guess we should still ask him. We haven't actually asked him. We just made this plan and started moving. See if he's willing to go.
Well, I
With
mean, he
his
hates
plan.
goblins, right?
He does hate the goblins, that's for sure.
Hey,
I-
Mothig, we gotta wait.
I would prefer to ride a dire wolf, but I think I can make a horse work. Though I usually eat horses, so this is kind of weird.
Well, don't eat this one. We like this one.
Think of it as like a dire horse.
All right. So as you guys approach, he's like, "So, from what I understand, you guys went through the entrance that I was chained up to." Is Stick
Sorry, guys. I gotta drop for a second. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Keeping the stream going, don't worry.
No problem. The entrance that I was guarding, you guys went to the left. That's towards the barracks. That's where you're going to see a large number of them. If you were going that way, it would be a full front assault. If you go right, that just goes to an old part of some castle that used to be there, some kind of fortress. I don't really know. I've always kind of been scared to go in that side.
Huh.
How many goblins are we talking about here?
I'll ask him. Do you have a rough idea of how many goblins are really in here?
About 100.
Hmm.
He says we're looking at about 100.
Hmm.
You got
That's
any
a lot.
ideas here, Brock?
Sorry, what'd you say?
I said we're looking at about 100. Do you have any ideas about that?
Well, I think that going into the fortress might be our best bet and avoid the bulk of them for now. We may not be scattering them all at once, but we've got to learn the layout of their lair.
And the longer we can do it without them noticing our presence, the better.
Correct.
Maybe we find some explosives, lay a few traps along the way.
Yeah.
Oh, do you guys need flasks of oil? Says Jonathan Fairlight.
God, this guy. Yes, we do, actually. 100%. Do we have a tinder? Do we have a way to make fire?
I could sell you a way to make fire. Basically, Jonathan Fairlight can sell you any adventuring gear outside of rations.
So,
Oh, I'm actually, wait a minute. I just remembered. I do have a tinder box.
Our
So we just need
exclusion.
you have one tinderbox, yes?
just one, but no oil skins.
Well, you should probably take those as I'm likely going to end up a little ahead. You're probably going to need to just hear me and you can see me before most of the others can. So if you see trouble, you can use that. You're also one of us has to stay with the main group anyway, because someone's got to be able to talk to Bothic. So
All right, I will go ahead and how many oil skins do you think I should get?
How expensive are they?
oil flasks cost 2 in weight and GP. And it's one flask. So what's your weight capacity leftovers? Like how much room do you still have? I would say at least take a 2 or 3 if
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and take 3. I can still, I'm packed pretty light here, so I can still carry quite a bit. I'll grab 3 of them for us.
sweet.
Alrighty, so
You know what? I think Merid will go ahead and grab one flask without the tinder box as something I could leave behind if I get too far ahead or separated from the main group. If you find that oil flask just hanging out in the path that we've been taking, yeah, know something's up.
All right, so we understand that as a team.
That's what I would like for everybody to understand.
You all right?
Cool.
Because I would presume so game master here. You said combat or attacking would remove the invisibility. Would dropping an object or setting one down?
I think it's only. Hold on, let me read the rules. It is the same rules as normal invisibility spell, and I will just read it aloud so that you understand and that there is no ambiguity. Second level. Here we go. If cast on a creature, any gear the subject is carrying is also rendered invisible. Items dropped or put down the invisible creature become visible. If the subject attacks or casts a spell, the invisibility is broken. Says nothing about dropping objects.
Okay, sweet. So that'll definitely work then.
Also, I just want to make sure, are you guys then looking for an alternate entrance, or are you going towards the barracks?
Going to the place that Vothig was saying he hasn't really gone there. I think we're headed that way. Was that right, Brock?
I mean, we could also, once we get there, spend some time looking for an alternate entrance.
Sure.
These goblin forts tend to have a lot of little ins and outs, so it would probably behoove us to spend a little time looking around.
Well, and especially with two elves that can detect secret doors, absolutely.
Yeah, we're set up good for that.
All right, so I guess we're heading down. What was that? The right fork then?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I must have poorly explained it. So, actually, you guys have already been on the right fork. Stickbeard was there. But there were just a bunch of ghouls, and that was basically it. Robert Shieldheart got really messed up, but he survived. But yeah, you found there were ghouls there, and you found some treasure, but no goblins. So you know that the room to the right from there, what he's talking about, what the orc is talking about, is looking around that cavernous area and finding another entrance into the underground.
Oh, okay. So we just need to get to the main cave first, and then look from there.
Yeah, because I think we're not actually talking about like defeating an entire tribe of goblins, right? What we really need to do is take this fight to King Scratch,
Yeah.
because if our stereotypes about goblins hold, once we take out their big brain leader, the rest of them will like slough off because they're cowards, right?
Well, as they did when you and I approached the orc who they were fighting.
Mm-hmm.
When we walked
Well,
up to Vothig, they were like, "Oh, I'm out of here."
well, I mean, cowardice is one way to describe that. I would also describe it as the smart thing to do. If a brand new party of armed goons shows up and you're already losing, retreating is probably the smart thing to do. So
But I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that the annoyances that were with us, and then you and this tiny little purple-haired elf, were much of a threat.
well, they had only seconds to make that decision. So be not proud just because because we are tall and good looking that we must be smart and our enemies must be stupid. Uh, if you that is just one form of underestimating your enemies, and they will use that against you to defeat you, whether or not they're cowardly and we're brave.
Sure.
All right, so nobody move, but
I'm not even sure
Volthag.
of my icon, so
Oh, right. Um, well, yeah, just let me. Oh, you're the leaf.
okay, makes sense.
Yep. And then Svardvisk, you are the sword and rose.
Copy.
Okay, but nobody moves. So yes, Volthag, he rides up kind of to this area, and you kind of have to cross this pond of seawater. You know, you guys are still like not that far from the coast.
Yeah.
Um, and where you guys are, it's only about up to the top of your foot. But then the darker regions, that's like getting into knee deep. So that's going to be slower moving.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, Lucky and Volthag are off screen, um, out of danger. Oh,
But
they're probably on the other side of the shore, actually. And yeah, Volthag just kind of points across the shore into the labyrinthine canyon and goes, "There's an entrance in there somewhere."
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, it's somewhere potentially around this big this big barricade over here. Oh, wait, there it is. There's my ping. It's probably somewhere around that big rock, and you do kind of see like the most striking part of the wall right there is like this big just pillar of earth kind of sticking out.
all right.
All right, well, we should probably kind of like creep our way up onto dry land over here and then send our invisible scout around the corner to see what they can see.
Sounds good.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so I guess we carefully and as quietly as possible approach this side of the rocks here.
Now, so you guys are trying to go as quietly as possible, and I would assume that being said, it would be one at a time, because like four of you splashing across the water would make more noise than one person, right?
Sure.
Hmm.
Okay.
Would
So,
it not maybe make more sense to head this way, shortest distance through water, at least for me anyway, and then come up? I might even be able to spot something from this point here.
Yeah, sure, let's do that.
okay, so so I take it that Merid is taking point.
Yes. And moving off in this direction first and then up this wall. Now if I can figure out how to switch back. There we go.
Yeah, the arrow tool.
Okay, so I am making some rolls here.
Although if this is a big rock right here, it might make sense for you guys to keep moving along this overall path as quietly as possible, as it potentially keeps you out of some view of what's in here.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm actually pretty much equidistant from any part of the shoreline with my location.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, then everybody who's visible take a more direct path and keep these rocks in front of them, so that we're not revealing ourselves.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we start with Merid moving first. Go ahead and make your first move.
All right. So, I need to do that thing again. Wrong one. That should be available for one move, yes?
Yeah, you're still on the shallow side. Yeah.
Boom. Yeah, moving over to this wall and up. trying to get some view here.
Okay, pause right there, and then yeah, just I guess the rest of everybody else moving across the lake.
Right? Seems to make the most sense to go one at a time, left to right.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay, yeah, and you stand kind of behind that other rock fixture. It's about 8
Mhm.
feet high.
Yeah, so I'll kind of like crouch behind it as I approach.
Are you staying at that position then?
Yeah, I think
All right.
so. But
All right.
that's yeah. Try to stay hidden until I can get up over into this little hole here, so I can see further in.
I'll scooch in there.
And Svardfisk.
As long as we don't upset anything.
I'm gonna creep around behind these rocks up here, play it extra safe.
All right.
All right, I'm in position.
All right. I got.
Actually, so when Svardfisk moves, Merid, you see, yeah, you see one kind of like
Peeking out. Yeah.
peeking out, like looking around, looking out to the lake. You guys are hidden behind that rock fixture. Stickbeard, why don't you give me a dex check?
Do 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 do.
Okay, yeah, you actually also get eyes on the goblin as you kind of hear like some shuffling on the other side of the rock wall, and you look over and you're able to kind of like dip out before the goblin turns his head to see you.
All right. And so, cool. That'll let me. I turn around to Brock. It's like, he's right there on the other side of that giant rock.
All right, I like nod, and I need to get up for just a second.
Do, 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 do.
I guess their actions are kind of independent of yours, Merid. So
All right. Yeah. Merid is gonna go ahead and put the ring on and keep moving forward for now into that hole towards the goblin.
so you're invisible.
Yes.
Okay.
And if they've noticed that I went invisible, that might give them a clue other than what Stickbeard has just told them.
The goblin. So you walk up from that rock wall, going northward to get like basically a direct view of the
Mhm.
goblin. The goblin seems to be looking more towards Stickbeard's direction, like the water, and is
Yeah.
looking kind of like at the water ripple, trying to like kind of figure out, if something is like disturbing it.
Sure.
Um, but that's all he's doing. He isn't even looking in your general direction.
That is good. I assume since we're on a beach, there's lots of little pebbles and shells and stuff, yes?
Yes?
Uh, Merid will go ahead and uh, pick one No, never mind. Scratch that. Reverse. Don't want to. Never mind. Changing direction. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep moving forward.
Okay.
I
I'll
wanna-
give you
I wanna-
I'll give you 2 hexes, Osh.
Yeah, I want to get a little closer and a little bit more in the overall hole. So that was 2 there.
Okay. Now everybody else. You can't. By the way, guys, you can't see Merid. Merid has disappeared at this point.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay, so I think Brock is going to grab one of these pebbles off the rocky beach, and he's going to throw it in the water over here.
Oh, risky.
Why don't you make a dex check?
Okay. Success.
Okay. You do that, and this goblin creeps up here, and another one.
Aha.
Kind of ekes out, takes a closer look. At this point, Svardfisk, make a dex check.
What do I roll?
Oh, your dexterity. So if you go on your character sheet, you can just click your dexterity and it should just make the roll.
Yeah, it'll bring up a box. You'll have to hit OK, but then it'll roll it.
All right. Svardfisk, you do the same thing Stickbeard just did. You kind of like lean around the corner, you see the goblin, and then like duck back as the goblin like turns towards your direction. But you can see that, the goblin is looking more out to the water, not where you guys are.
If we can get him to come in a little closer, we can jump him.
Do you want both or one?
So,
Well, we're not. Sorry.
I was just going to say that this is where they get to before they're going to see you. So that's the initiation, effectively. This goblin will eventually see Stickbeard, and this goblin will eventually see Svardfisk.
Well, we want him to get as close as possible, and then Brock will kind of do a 3, 2, 1, go. Stickbeard, you're probably going to want to go this way after this one. Merid we don't know exactly where Merid is, but we know that he's over there somewhere, so he can help you.
If I may, I have a proposal.
Okay, go ahead.
Brock, you're better at hand to hand than I am. I need to switch places with you so I can offer support to either one who needs it. And then maybe with my knowledge of language, I can confuse or intimidate the goblins by calling out in Orcish.
Hey.
Okay, so it sounds like you have a move and an action already. You just want to switch places with Brock. That's a move. And then your action of calling out, that's a charisma check. So that's your action. Svardfisk.
All right, so I guess yeah, Brock, I guess do you want to switch me places then?
Yep, go ahead.
All right.
And yeah, once the shouting starts, I guess I'll just burst out and start swinging.
So yeah, I guess it starts with you, Svardfisk. Roll charisma. with a very convincing orcish accent.
Nice.
It's not an orcish.
Fuck yeah.
You, yeah, it immediately like has them just like looking all over because it kind of bounces off the rock walls and stuff and the water. And so yeah, they just kind of sit there confused, like shivering, holding their spears, looking around. And I guess yeah, that leaves the rest of you. What are you doing?
Well, Brock's gonna burst out of his hiding space and go for this goblin.
All right, and then Merid would like to go ahead and drop in behind this one, and use his dagger to actually take it out at the ankles. Since he's invisible.
You're just making the attack roll, but yeah.
Yeah.
I will give you a +1 for the back attack though. Merid.
Sure. Cool.
So add +1 to your attack roll. And
where is it?
okay, so both miss,
Oh,
and that leaves Stickbeard.
and now I'm not invisible.
So, yeah, this is just 30 feet, so run and fucking ram, jam, thinking man, battle axe to the face.
Okay. That kills it.
Yay!
Jeez. Squish.
Squish.
Woo!
Big squish.
Yeah, you launch your battle axe down its skull, and it goes in for a minute, and like the goblin goes to like grab at it before just falling over. So now the goblin who's was attacked by you, Brock, still catatonic, still shivering, still overwhelmed, just screams, "We're under attack!"
Yeah.
Roll a dish.
Stickbeard, how about you go first?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Osh. Basically, only one of you rolls initiative for team initiative.
Okay.
And goblins go first.
Sweet. There's another. And another.
The one with you, Brock, finally gathers their wits and strikes at you. What is your armor class?
16.
And yeah, like the spear goes, but you just easily bat it away with the shield.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and it's your guys' action.
Well, I'm just going to be attacking this goblin again, so I'll go ahead and roll that.
And it
Even worse.
goes wide.
Having an off day.
I mean, this is OSE. It's so swingy. It's like there's so very little that my class actually adds to the hit. So
Well, I'd like to take position and take a shot with my short bow.
Okay.
That the one that he just attacked?
And check your range. If you're short range, you get +1 to your attack.
Does 20 feet count?
Yeah, that's short range. So yeah, just make your attack roll with the weapon on your character sheet and add +1. And just whizzes by that. Man, this goblin. This goblin is like super ninja right now.
He's dexterous.
Okay, so that's the right side of the board. Now the left side.
Alrighty. As I'm not invisible anymore. And this one is only 25 feet away, that's for sure. Switching, that probably counts as a, doesn't it?
Move
Switch
action. It's a move
dagger to the
action if you want to switch to your crossbow and use it.
That's what I thought. Yes. That is what I'll be doing. Staying put, switching, crossbow, shot. This guy.
Okay.
New. Go to the correct spot. Please.
And that'll leave Stickbeard. All right. You shoot and get it in the shoulder. The goblin lurches back, but still, presses forward.
Sweet.
Though it's got a crossbow bolt sticking out.
All right. And we're on the back half of the action?
Yeah.
Cool. That makes this easy. So 30 feet. Still using that great axe. You're still using that amazing battle axe. Move and a swing.
And that kills it.
Woohoo!
Ooh!
Roll. Who wants to roll an ish?
I'm next in line. I'll do it.
Goblins go first. Actually, so those two have been defeated. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Both of these guys immediately start running away. Brock, I'll give you 2 attacks on this guy.
Okay. No dice. There we go.
So finally, after, he dodged 4 attacks. He felt pretty good. Felt pretty confident.
Well, I mean, that's just how it is because, I'm only getting a +2. They're AC, 13 or 14? So I got to be rolling an 11 or 12. So it makes sense that I would miss most of my attacks because that's the math.
Oh, okay. So that one's dead, but this one,
Let me take a shot at it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do I get any kind of modifier because he's running away?
No, not with missile combat. I just was giving an opportunity. Oh, okay. Well,
there we go.
Like you need it. Okay.
This is cool because you shoot the bow like right through Brock, and I imagine he just ducks out of the way at the last second as the arrow
No,
goes
it,
over his
it just
shoulder.
it went right over his shoulder. It
Yeah.
was touching the feathers were touching his neck.
Yes.
And he turns around and nods with a smile, like that meme, you know? That's true teamwork.
And I tip my cap like that other meme.
Yeah. Very good.
All right. So they made a call for help, but none of them escaped. So what's next? There.
We got to move up quickly because we got to find where the choke points are, right? We got to fill gaps. If more goblins are going to be kind of like pouring out, we got to be
Yeah.
ready to cut them down.
So we need to get on either side of this next big rock here. And
Yeah,
it
we
looks
got
like we're pretty much split that way already.
Yeah, so Svardvisk, you're with me, and Stickbeard and Merid go the other way.
Yeah, I think that's probably what we can do.
All right. So can move our tokens, Game Master, or do you want us to wait?
Oh, well, I get, yeah, so you guys shimmy through.
Joinks.
Jimmy.
All right, looks like we got more tunnels over here.
But it looks like we can still meet each other at this
Yeah.
juncture. What's this right here?
So, yeah, that, it looks like a movable grate. It has some use. It does have a latch, but it looks like just one of those manual latches, like not like a lock or anything.
A swing latch.
Yeah.
Or like a deadbolt style.
We'll go with the deadbolt, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
And is it
So we can
deadbolted
undo
on?
it without a key, essentially.
Yeah.
So I think Merritt wants to take a look in that hole.
All right, I'm gonna have Brock go down this other direction here, just to see what's over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm offering support.
Okay, great. All right, looks like there's nothing else over here, unless this is a conspicuous dead end, and then I'd want to have an elf look at it.
That'd be Sparty's job.
All right. Well, I will. I guess I'll start the search over where Brock is standing up there to the north.
All right. So not a secret entrance, but just by, feeling your hands over, you feel running water on the other side of that wall, and the wall does kind of sweat.
What's the wall made of?
A porous mineral of some kind that would allow the water to sweat like that. Nothing comes to mind, but a geological possibility, I'm sure.
That's awesome.
Okay, is there? Does it feel weak enough that we could break through?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna wheel back with the shield up and see if I can smash through.
Okay. So make a strength check.
Love that. Love that for me. Oh, just succeeds.
Okay, yeah, so you push out and there's this huge rush of water, but you're able to stand your ground, And yeah, there's like an underground, like, watering hole. It looks like you kind of have to crawl through the water to get out, but, just kind of ducking on your hands and knees and looking into the dark just from the light, because it's morning.
Mhm.
You can see that it goes out into an empty space.
Oh, so it's like a grotto.
Yeah.
This might be a way in, but do we have time to check it now?
What time of day is it?
It's like morning. It only took us like half an hour to get here.
Yeah, well, half an hour to an hour to get here. Yeah, so it's still
Yeah.
pretty early morning.
All right, let's check it out. So why don't you go grab the others and we'll check out this spot. This might be an alternate way in. We can take the goblins by surprise.
And when I return to the others, what are they doing?
Merritt is intently looking down this hole below this grate.
We were waiting for you. What did you guys see?
I tell them about the grotto we found.
Oh, that's neat.
It's a bit of an odd time for a side excursion, but if you think it's useful.
It may align with our goals.
Ooh. Goal alignment. I love this. I feel so synergized.
The paradigm's really coming together.
Oh my gosh.
To answer your question though, Merid, you did ask a while back, looking down in the hole, what do you see?
Mhm.
It's a ruined corridor. Stickbeard, looking down here, this looks similar to the entrance that was where the orc was chained up to on the other side of the cavern system.
Okay. Interesting.
So yeah, it's a similar entryway, and there is a clear left and right. So that would be your choices going down there.
All right. Well, let's check out the secret one now that we have an idea what's over here. We can always come back if we need to, or can.
Kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, should I go back and try and convince Brock to come back here?
No, I was saying, since this one's much more obvious and where he's looking is less obvious, we should check out the less obvious first. We know this is here.
Oh, okay.
If we can make
Sorry, I
it back
misread that.
here, we know we have other options, and there's two in front of us, but we have zero idea of what's over in front of Brock right now. So let's check it out.
Oh, sweet. To the grotto.
Eventually, Vothig yells from across the pond, "Hey, is it okay to come on over? Is it safe? I don't hear nothing in a while. Did you lose?"
Let's wave him over.
I yell in Orcish, if you can swim, then it's cool.
Well, I mean, Lucky's easily able to walk it into the pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, the orc doesn't need to swim. He just needs to ford the river.
I
Oh.
wasn't sure if this was a Little John Men in Tights moment.
I mean,
Yeah.
the horse, it looks more like a pony on compared to Vothig, but it's still rideable.
All right, so yeah, come on down. We shout that in Orcish. It's safe. Come on in. Get away from the sun, you big sissy.
Nah.
This poor guy.
I will. He threatens to eat you, or something like that.
Yeah, later.
Meh.
We got spelunking to do.
As I've mentioned before, there's a lozenge for that.
So he just kind of waits by the entrance. There's enough shade for him to just not rely on Lucky or his poncho. But looking out into this, actually it's raining, so it's not that brilliant. So yeah, in this cavern system, he's doing pretty good right now. He won't burn up and die when you return. I guess is what I'm assuring you.
Huge.
Okay, good.
However,
That is good to
will
know.
he eat your horse? See, this is a fox, chicken, wheat problem.
Well, we did tell
I
him
think he
we would
knows
like
what
him not
kind
to
of.
eat Lucky.
Wait, do orcs eat goblins?
Yes. Well, I mean, orcs are cannibals. Like they're carnivores, strict carnivores.
I mean,
They're
like,
opportunities.
so the bodies are available for him, right? I mean, we've got what,
Yeah,
one,
he's
two,
got
three,
4
four
corpses out there.
goblins for him.
Oh yeah, he's like, you got a point.
Have
He is
fun.
well
Eat.
fed.
We'll be back.
All right, we go in.
Okay.
Oh, hey, there's a thing beyond.
Dun,
Yes,
dun, dun.
I'm opening the map here, or getting it ready. Please hold.
Sure.
Yes, please hold D.
Just
I'll be back.
this is crawling through. You guys are crawling through the vents, to hide the loading screen.
I'm going to use this opportunity to step away. I'll be back quickly.
Same.
All right.
Ooh.
And yeah, you guys end up kind of crawling through a grotto and finally get to an open space. And yeah, there's a ledge that's it's moist. It seems like some of the water, I mean, the water did drain out. So this ledge is a little bit slippery. But that water is knee deep. Actually, could be deeper.
Okay. Well, is there any light in here, or is this like underground?
This is underground.
Okay.
I assume you have a lantern.
Yeah, it's just a question of who's holding it.
You're the only one who needs one.
Yeah, but I'm also like in desperate need of both my hands if I'm going to be going first and tanking.
The rule about lanterns is you can just tie it to your belt or shoulder strap and you're good.
Okay, well in that case I will go first. Shield up, sword out, and I will start taking this path along the ledge here to see what we can find.
I will continue to come up the rear. Wait, are we sure we don't want to use our invisibility elf?
Yeah. Do you want to scout up ahead?
The elf disappeared and has now returned, not knowing where we're at. But sure.
Okay. We're inside the grotto. We crawled through the wall.
Okay.
Nice.
So if you wanna go up ahead and just kind of like check it out.
And you're headed this direction?
Let's see. I was going south
South.
because it looks
This
like
way.
north. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Yep. We can do that. We can move along. Ring equipped again. Not yet. I'll wait a minute on that actually. Um, However, I think I'll go ahead and put all weapons away for the moment and just have the shield ready.
Svardfisk, you hear the water being disturbed. Like, you're hearing the ambient water noises, but then like you hear something that's like against those ambient noises. Something
It's
is
off.
moving in the water.
I I I say in the common tongue loud enough. What I mean, looks like Merritt's only like 20, 25 feet away there, so not very far. I call out. I mean, like, yeah, there we go. Because me hearing that information as the casual player, I'm like, okay, so there's something in the water. So I'm going to assume that Svardfisk, with his background in fishing and being out in the water, understands the meaning of that current.
That makes
So I,
sense to me. That totally
yeah.
makes sense to me.
So I offer a warning to my fellow party members. I say, there's something in the water.
Alrighty.
Ooh, and then it does that cool zoom in where the camera like pans out while it physically moves closer to me.
How deep is the water?
So the light blue part is knee deep.
Okay.
The darker part is up to your, well, it's kind of hard to tell, but you're definitely you estimate that it's above your waist.
So it's actually deeper the closer it gets to the wall.
In this
This
so
space,
far
yeah.
in this sample
Okay.
size, yes.
It looks like it's there's a mound of something out in the middle of the water and it's deeper closer to this wall.
Okay. Well, I'll creep a little closer to the edge. Looks like we've got some sort of. Looks like it might be a bridge or something over here. We can kind of barely see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the elf vision. If it's blue, it's either the dwarves or the elves are seeing it. Your
Okay.
lantern is the only normal light.
So we are seeing that this Spardvisk and
And Stickbeard.
and Stickbeard.
Yeah. Well.
So maybe I guess it's probably up to me then. There is something in the water ahead. Perhaps you should come up closer with me.
I would like to hug the wall of the cavern, but approach to offer support from a distance.
So we definitely have something in front of us here.
Mm-hmm.
Do 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 do. We definitely have some sort of crossing here, but I don't know exactly where it's going.
Well, let's keep following it.
Wait. Stop
Where-
right where you were. Thank you. Everybody make a wisdom check.
Okay.
Wisdom.
Who's wise around here?
Not me. Like I
Oh,
said,
Christ.
not me.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, fuck, I rolled twice by accident.
Oh, So, Merritt is the only one who actually. Oh, and Svardfisk. So Merritt and Svardfisk don't see it, but Brock, you have your lantern kind of showing up the water. You think you see something reflecting off the, off your light, and you look down, and it's this kind of dark, elongated figure, and it's slithering up to where Merritt is stepping up on the bridge.
I'll just immediately shout and point my sword at it. There's something in the water, a creature.
Oh boy.
And is it like? So it's a little hard to tell on this map, but are we on like elevated rock formations?
It looks like a fallen column, actually. I think that's what I'm standing on, is a fallen column.
Yeah, that's what you're on. I'm kind of more curious as to what the rest of us are standing on.
Elevated rock formations.
Okay, so if I were to move into like this next hex here, could I hit this thing with my sword, or is it like way down?
You could, but you would be like striking into the water, so there'd be I'd say a -1 to your attack.
Okay. Well, I mean, if I've got the initiative to do it, I'll just jump forward and stab at it.
Okay, yeah. So roll an ish. That's the engage. Roll an ish.
Okay.
Who has yet to roll initiative?
Svardfisk is next in line.
How would I do that?
There's an initiative box on your character sheet. It is right under the combat heading on the right side. It says init, and you just hit that.
Aha.
Click OK. 2. That's what we've gotten every time this
A lot of
session.
twos.
Yeah,
A lot of twos.
A lot of
today.
twos on an ish. Okay, so the snake goes first.
Okay.
Snake. So yeah, give me a strength check. Merid.
Well, wait,
With my
isn't
shield. It's attacking me, essentially. Which I suspected since I was sitting up front and it saw me early. And you said strength, right?
Yes. Okay. So
Man, I am really horrible at rolls today.
So Brock, as you see it and go, there's something in the water. Just as you say that, part of its tail comes up, pulls at Merid, and Merid, you're not like underwater, but now you're like pulled into the wastewater, and it's trying to like pull you down further in the knee-deep water.
Sweet.
But yeah, you're struggling to keep your footing. Everybody?
Okay.
Else?
Brock is going to. Well, if I'm like in the water with the snake, do I still get the attack penalty?
I would say not with a spear, but with a sword, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to jump in anyway, and I'm going to attack the snake.
Okay.
-1 in there.
So it has a portion of itself wrapped around me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like around my leg, around my waist, around my arm.
It's around your calf.
Okay.
That's a 10 to hit.
So that does hit, but does not So stabbing it, and there's like blood that comes out, staining the water. But you realize you're using your sword, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Compared to your sword, it's um, it's very big. It's far bigger than you thought it was.
So you used a needle.
So
I guess
how big are we talking?
It's over 3 meters long.
Okay, so it's like 20 feet long.
9.
Well, 3
3
meters
by
long
3
is
is
nine.
9.
Nine. That's I mean, a 9 foot snake.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
That's big. It's not invincible. I mean, uh,
It,
I
it,
mean, it's
it
like
does seem it did react to getting hit, but it's still thrashing. Anybody
okay.
else?
Well, as the only thing I had out was the shield, and it's on my leg. Can I just do like a shield bash at the part that's wrapped around my leg?
You can't take actions against the snake other than try and roll a strength check to get out of it.
Okay.
So is that what you're
Um,
trying to do?
I guess that's what I'll have to do. I just wanted to use my shield as that deal. That's all.
Well, yeah, you're just basically off balance,
Okay.
constricted and off balance.
All right. I'll try to escape again, I guess. Huh. That's interesting.
Okay, you slip out. That's your turn.
Sure.
Stickbeard or Svardfisk.
I would vote for if you would like Stickbeard to go first. That way I can come up from the rear and not block your position.
Hmm.
I don't see a way of me getting a good strike in unless I decide to go swimming, and that does not look like a good idea at the moment. Hello?
All right.
But I had an idea. Could I, so, especially now since the water is bloody, um, is there a stalactite hanging from the ceiling above the snake?
I'm gonna go with no.
Die. All right. Then I would sheathe my axe and get out my sling. And do I have more actions beyond that?
I mean, if you're planning on hitting the snake, by the way, it's going to be a -2 penalty for missile combat. Not only is the water bending it, but also you have to shoot it straight enough to pierce the water and actually hit the snake.
Yeah, there's a fair bit of resistance once it hits water.
Ah, shite. I am in no good position for anything then.
You do get the short range bonus, so that's like +1.
All right. But yeah, I'd like to sling a rock at it.
Okay, go for it.
That is not slinging a rock. So -2 +1, overall -1.
Yep. That is a hit, but it is still thrashing.
Okay.
All right. I guess that's my turn then. Do I get the short range advantage from here?
Yep.
Where are you?
Am I also getting -2?
Yes.
Okay, so -1 overall.
Okay, and that sends it.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, buddy.
Man, that feels like hitting a home run.
So the arrow goes in and it stops thrashing. The water is calm again.
Yeah. I'm gonna reach down and grab
it.
onto this thing and get a look at it.
It's 9 meters. I'll assist him. Or 3 meters, so 9 feet. So yeah, I'll assist him. It's big.
Yeah, I'd like to move in for a closer look here.
Pull it up and string it across the column.
So checking out its teeth, it's got short, sharp teeth, not fangs. So it doesn't use its it doesn't have poison. You
More like a piranha's teeth.
yeah. You do assume that it probably hunts like a constrictor, given that it tried to pull you into the water.
Yeah. Welp, pretty cool.
That's not cool, man. Thank you guys, but that was not cool. I wonder what else is in here.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna look over the snake. If nothing jumps out at me as being particularly interesting, like if the scales don't look particularly fancy, if it doesn't look like it swallowed a treasure chest or whatever, I'm just gonna let it go.
It does have like almost rock-like scales. Like it easily could camouflage, and like that's probably why it caught you guys by surprise the way it did. And then
Oh,
it
it's
makes
got
you
like
yeah, and then it makes you wonder like if there are others like in the water with you right now.
right. So I'll go ahead and scramble on out of there.
Back up here.
And we should now be alert for things that can blend into the stone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you guys want to keep creeping?
I'm ready to cross this column. I see more
Ah,
land.
there's one.
Yeah, you see another one, but this one isn't like actively like as soon as you make eye contact with it, it's it's watching you and just kind of slithering in the water.
Well, we'll watch him back. Ready to
Yeah.
strike if it gets too close.
Yeah,
We're going to
it
the
looks like
install.
it's just looking for an opportunity.
Waiting for me to get too far ahead of everybody because I'm the smallest.
Well, let's all stick together then. I'll just kind of like keep my shield pointed towards it while we make our way across. Kind of
Can't
remind
get
it that
me.
we can see it. Yeah, and then let's
Alright.
just get her onto this
Mirrid makes
zone.
landfall again.
Right.
Here
I'm behind you.
you see some smaller debris, some pots and stuff, and other various refuse.
Debris and refuse.
Oh, did we find the goblin garbage pit?
Give me an intelligence check.
Oh.
Let's see. Where are the stats at? There we go. Nope.
Can any of us make that check?
Any of you, if you guys are like looking at the rubble and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just curious what's going on.
So Svardfisk, you're the only one who's looking at it. He's like, oh no, this is far older.
Oh, Dip, what are we looking at?
Looking at runes that may have came from the age of the cataclysm, perhaps before. This isn't like goblin refuse. This is like an archaeological site.
Hmm.
Though with the proximity of all the other runes that are around, and how the underground is kind of organized, where it's like in this cave area, Stickbeard, you've noticed that it's like natural cave area and then like some kind of fortress corridor and then a natural cave area, and it just kind of alternates. And yeah, it all seems to date back to this same time of ruins. What you're looking at through the debris. Also, while looking through the debris, you find a rather it's very finely, it's almost filigreed and embroidered gambeson. It shines like gold. The base of it is a very dark black that really makes the gold filigreed kind of pop. And
Wow.
despite being in this debris, it looks absolutely brand new, like it was made today.
What's it sized for? A human being?
Yeah, size for a human. Human elf.
And it's a what again?
A gambeson.
It's like a armored tunic.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well-
and you said it's filigreed.
Yeah, it has
I mean-
like some. You're thinking it's not gold, but it looks like gold.
Seems magic to me if it's in such good condition after all this time.
Oh, I think if y'all don't mind, maybe I mean, how long does it take to scan an item to see if it's magic with the magic wand? Is that a process? or-
Instantly.
Okay. What do you
Hang
guys
on, let me
think?
If you want, why don't we put the gambus on? I've also been carrying around a ring in my pocket that we haven't identified yet, so we could probably, because you could do that, right? You can
Yeah, I'm an elf,
identify
so
multiple
yeah.
things at the same time. So
What ring is that you have?
we defeated those bandits, and one of them was lighting his arms on fire.
Yeah, that was
and-
Chorus's ring of fire protection.
Okay, did we give that back to him?
I assumed you did.
I mean,
Well,
I know he wanted
apparently,
all of his.
Brock kept it.
I mean, you
I
did
mean- I
bring back
mean-
his potions, but yeah, did you bring
We-
back? Yeah.
It was kind of a matter of he asked for all of his potion stuff back. We brought him everything that we recovered, and he took back his potion stuff and says you could keep everything else. So he didn't specifically ask for the ring back, but
Okay.
if he had,
that you don't have to identify. Then that's a ring of fire protection.
oh, okay, well,
Nice.
it's in our loot pile. So yeah, we can either just I blow a charge to identify this suit of armor now, or we can just put it in the pack until we have more stuff, because the charges on the wand don't come back.
That's a really good point. We should definitely, yeah. Let's hold on to it and see,
Still,
and just
can you do
keep
more
it
than
going.
one item per charge?
Yes,
Okay.
it's like if you have a pile of magic stuff, one
just
cast of
detect all of them.
identify. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that would make more sense in terms of the value of the use of the spell then, to wait till there's at least more objects.
Yeah, that's smart.
But how many players could potentially use such an item based on its type and weight without the magic?
Like who can wear the armor? Is that your question?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an obvious user of it. I've got a high strength and I take a lot of melee hits.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with just keeping it until we know exactly what it is.
Okay.
It's also a piece of armor that looks nice that we found in a
Derelict
creepy
space.
underground cave. It might be cursed or something, so pays to be a little bit cautious.
Yeah, we don't need you turning into a rampageous murderer.
Yeah, there's enough of those around. So yeah, let's just
Or
stash it
a
in the pack for now, and let's keep exploring.
Sounds good.
Right on.
Do, 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 do. Is this going to be another one of those we buried the treasure in the mountains and left it alone?
I promise
Uh,
we won't bury all of our treasure.
that was still a pretty cool thing, though. It worked out really well for us. All
All
right.
right, well
So,
let's keep going.
is this, Mr. GM? Is this a wall right here?
Yes, that is a wall.
Okay. So we need to keep. Oh, wrong token. We need to keep moving this way then.
Yeah, is there
Oh,
anything interesting about this niche here, or is it just wall?
It's just a wall.
Okay, well then we'll keep moving.
it looks like we're back to a water's edge. Oh no, map just hadn't caught up.
Yeah.
We have a narrow path around another tall rock. Maybe. And still that one bastard hanging out in the water looking at us.
Well, I mean, if we can keep our eyes on him.
He got closer to me again. I think I'll wait for the group.
Yeah. If we make eye contact, does he mind his manners?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't really see his eyes because he's constantly swimming underwater. But yeah, there's
Sure.
just this, his ominous presence can be felt as you guys are
Alright.
in the water.
Well, as Marriage moving along this face here, we'll keep the shield towards that.
Give me a dexterity check, Merid.
All right. I gotta get there first. Did I fail again? I think I failed every roll today. Jeez.
You slip and fall
And fall
into
into
the
the water.
water.
Maybe I'm not such a good forward.
And now roll strength.
Again. Oh man, this is just rocking.
Hey.
Hey, I
Okay.
got a success.
So yeah, it wraps it around your calf and is trying to like pull you off balance, but instead of you like, jerking around in the water, you're actually able to kind of hold your ground. It's still pulling, but you can steady yourself and actually you can't move, but you can take actions.
All right. We'll go ahead and instead of the shield this time, we'll go ahead and just take a stab at the part wrapped around my leg with a dagger.
Dagger. Okay, so that's still a -1 to hit.
That's fine. That's better than the shield, which was just like you said nothing pretty much. Oh, how do I do the -1?
The box will pop up after you hit the attack roll, and you can put a -1 in there.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Sweet.
And yeah, you nick it. Some blood squirts out.
I'm just giving it some attention.
Everybody else?
Brock's jumping in to assist, and will attack with his sword.
Go for my leg.
Well, that's not going to do anything.
Okay.
So that leaves Svardfisk and Stickbeard.
All right, at 25 feet, do I get my +1 bonus? So I'll be at a -1 modifier.
Yep.
Are you doing your bullet time bow again?
Yeah, doing my short bow.
Okay,
Natural
yeah.
one.
And it goes wide.
That one I think
That's
almost
just the
I
universe
like.
balancing itself out.
Yep. How does this? How does the ceiling look above this one?
You really want to drop something natural, don't you?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
This time I'll give it to you.
Fine. Well, all right. Then I sling and aim for for the stalagmite above the snake.
Okay.
Do. Penalties or bonuses, or just a flat attack roll?
It's an attack roll +1 because it's short range.
Okay. 1.
And you smack a stalactite with the rock pretty straight on, and it falls down and hits the snake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does it release me though?
No, but you can see that the snake isn't moving as much.
Great. All right, so then what's it gonna do before we get to go again?
That's where initiative comes in. So go ahead and roll an ish.
My turn, right?
I think so.
Dink. Hey, I got something more than 2.
You go first. So Stickbeard and Merid, if you're using your crossbow, will go last. But in Stickbeard, if you switch to your battle axe, you'll go last. But everybody else goes first.
All right.
I hit a 10 and I do 4.
Yep. You nick it again. Actually, so as you're attacking it, you notice that part of the debris has kind of pinned its body, so it like has less maneuverability.
Nice.
And I just want to go to like literally trying to cut it off of my leg with my dagger.
And yeah, that's a miss. You stab the
Eh.
water, but it's just hard.
So hard when it's attached to my leg. Man, I wish I knew where my leg was. Maybe I should have taken the invisible ring off of my toe.
All right, what else we got? Snake goes next.
I'll just. I've gotten my one like special hit in at this point. I'll just start slinging rocks at it. Giving it a -1. Ooh,
All right.
Jesus.
Man, that's a miss.
Swing and a miss.
Shall I take another shot at it?
If you want, or you can come try to help pull my ass out of the water, and maybe we can drag it up on land.
I mean, I got pretty good strength. I guess that's just a strength check, right?
Strength check to do what?
To grab me and pull on me instead of attacking it, and try to get it and me up out of the water.
Yeah, you could try that.
Do I have any kind of modifier here?
Because you're cooperating with Merid, I'll give you a +1 to your strength check.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you're just pulling, but you're unable to pull him out. Okay, and the snake then just bites at you, Brock.
All right, bring it.
And what is your AC?
16.
Oh, so it like you see it coming, and it whips in the water real quick to try and bite your ankle with its tiny razor teeth.
Mhm.
But you just kind of you push your shield down and get it to duck away. But yeah, it's totally trying to go for your ankles. And also when that happens at at Light's Edge, you notice.
Another.
Another snake. All right. Well, on my next turn, I'll probably try and drag the snake out, or drag you guys out of the water. But we'll see.
Maybe if we all three just work together, we can
Roll
get
initiative.
it.
All right.
That's
That's
back to Brock or Stickbeard.
Stickbeard.
Another 2.
Well, they rolled a 1, so go first.
All right. Well,
Nice.
let's start with Brock. I'm gonna grab Merid and try to drag him up onto the beach, pulling the snake with us too, if I can.
Okay, yeah.
Can I be pulling at the same time?
Oh yeah, why don't both of you make a strength check and give yourselves +1 if that's like your intent,
Okey-dokey.
and then
Ye-
Svardfisk
Well, wait.
can. Oh, you're also
Oh,
helping.
go on.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
give yourself a +2.
All right.
All of us together?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
each of you just make a check. Yeah, you're all kind of in this scrum.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. If you-
Okay. I'm just gonna roll a strength check and not put anything in the threshold modifier.
Sure. Huh.
Hmm.
Yeah, because that should have been a success for Svardfisk. Merid, yeah, you rolled a 20. That is a fail.
Mhm.
But no, Brock and Svardfisk succeed.
Sweet. I can't help myself. Thanks, guys.
So yeah, I think we just like move back and kind of just drag them up onto the beach if we can.
Yeah. You're not actually able to pull the snake out, but the snake isn't able to give chase because it's trapped under the debris.
Sweet.
Okay.
So it let my leg go. Finally.
Yeah. Like
Jeez.
it couldn't hold on. It just like it had leverage, but not that much leverage with like 2 people, especially with one as beastly as Brock Half Giant pulling you out.
Great. Oh man, thanks guys. Really sorry I keep getting caught by these dang things.
I'll give you a clap on the shoulder. It's the adventurer life.
So it seems. Now I just
All
want
right.
to roast one of these things up.
Okay. Is it possible for us to keep on creeping our way across?
It would be easier if you had some adventuring gear.
I do have some adventuring gear. Let's see. Let's see. I got the rope at least. Anybody got their spikes and pitons?
I got very little because I was ill prepared.
I have spikes.
Uh, can I put this thing to sleep, or do I gotta wait for the next round of initiative?
I mean, you could, but that's
I-
like
I
using
don't
a
think-
sleep grenade.
I don't think that's a good use of our resources, honestly. I think if we hammer some spikes in, run a rope across, we can kind of like give us something to hold on to.
Okay.
Oh, I brought a hammer as well.
All right, well let's get to that then. We can hammer spikes into the wall as we go.
Perfect. So yes,
Wrap
you
a
guys,
rope around it.
no issue. The snakes do look at you rather hungrily, but there's no chance of you guys slipping.
How many iron spikes are used in this process?
I'd say 4.
Yeah, easy.
All right, I'll bring mine down to 8. I have 8 spikes left.
Okay. Let's keep going. Looks like we got ourselves another beach on the other side.
Dee.
Yes. And I'm actually going to fast forward things here a bit because you guys got through the hard part. But if you continue down south, and you can already kind of see it in the elf visions.
Mm-hmm. More beach.
More beach
And rock.
and rock. But then it goes down, and you look down a tunnel.
Right near the beach.
The southwest, on the southwest side.
Uh-huh.
Over here.
Okay.
Where the water meets the ledge. And that leads to the next area, which is a cavern. And it's got a ladder going up. It looks like kind of very primitive ladder, just like wood slats hammered into the earth of the wall, or the wall of earth, but a ladder nonetheless.
And it goes up?
Goes up.
All right, well, Marriage, you want to go invisible and scout it out?
Sounds like a fantastic plan. As long as I can get away from these stupid snakes that keep pulling me into the water.
Has anybody actually taken any damage yet? I don't think so.
No, we're all good.
Yeah, that's like a decent. We're in pretty good shape.
Well, the snakes didn't really do a whole lot of attacking, just wrap and pull, and I think they
Yeah.
would have waited till they had us in the water to try to eat us.
So, yeah, that's why you don't rely on instant death attacks, you know. Anyway, okay. Now we're
Wow,
in the.
more column stuff that's fallen over.
Yeah, this looks like the ruined fortress that the orc was talking about.
Mayred, you hear chitterings.
Chitterings like squirrel or insect?
It's like very annoying humans talking to each other in a really weird gibberish.
All right.
What direction?
Beyond
Yeah,
this,
am I
beyond this
picking that
door.
up? A door. Matadora.
Do you inform anyone else?
I get close to the door just to try to enhance the hearing first.
I mean, you still it's not a language you recognize.
But volume level, right? Increases a touch as I get closer to the door.
Yes, it does.
Okay. So at that point, I say, "Yeah, there's something happening behind this door." Does the door appear to have anything special about it?
It is a stone, like it is a stone double door. You're pretty sure that if you opened it, it would make a lot of noise.
Mm-hmm. No weird markings or minerals or anything that shouldn't be on the door?
No, but there are carvings that depict its giant antlers.
The Antler King again?
What about this north door?
Same thing. It's a stone door. Double doors. You're pretty sure that it would make a lot of noise if you tried to open it.
How many distinct voices are we hearing on the other side of this west
Can I
door?
tell that?
There are 4, and as you let the others know, Stickbeard, you listen for a second and recognize Goblin.
Oh, we're here, all right.
Yeah.
They're saying
We're in the thick.
it's just that maybe Keen Scratch should just give up the whole attack, cause I don't know, we're feeling pretty bad here. No nonsense. Keen Scratch is the greatest Keen ever, and he has totally changed our lives. He said he would stop eating. We wouldn't have to be feared of being eaten. But like on that day of declaration, he ate like 6 people. Or 6 of us. So, I don't know. It seems like more of the same to me. Hey, you sound like like sedition. Yeah, that's it. You're being seditious. No, I'm not. I like King Scratch. He's the greatest king. Yes, we all agree. King Scratch is the greatest king.
Hey, Stickbeard, are you translating this for us?
Yes.
Okay,
After
so here's
chuckling
the thing.
heartily.
We might be able to tell these goblins that we'll get rid of their crummy king for them because they don't sound all that enthusiastic, if you ask me. So how do we feel about that? I think we can convince these goblins to like help
I
us.
want to try. I mean, we got an orc friend. If we could have an orc and goblin friends, though he wants to eat them, so that might not go so well.
Yeah, I mean, because Stickbeard, if you can tell them that you brought along, Brock Half Giant, famous bad king killer, they might go for it.
I think we need to take a moment to consider our approach because these are a couple of guys just having a chat in their living room, den, orc cave, literally, and then or goblin cave, and somebody's gonna burst in and be all like, "Hey, have I got a political speech for you?"
Well, we don't have to kick the door in. We can knock on it and
Oh, yeah.
see if they'll go for it. Because
What
I
if
mean,
we?
either way, it's kind of no matter what we do, we're going to blow our presence here because we can't open these doors quietly.
Yeah.
And we can always escape down back into the grotto if things
May
go
as
bad.
well try to be as polite as possible first, just to see what happens.
What? Well, okay, and this is gonna sound comical, Scooby Doo even, but we've already proven that these caverns echo, and we can kind of throw our voice a little bit
Uh,
through here.
uh,
Right. What if Stickbeard just kind of like offered some suggestions in Goblin of like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that guy sucks. Yeah, he's terrible. Yeah, we should do something about it. Like, is there room for that? Like, what if we try that? Like,
Like,
I guess what I'm asking is, Stickbeard, what is your charisma?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Um. I'm just going to translate what Brock is going to say. Because if I had to speak for
You-
myself, we would be dead.
In that case, you can teach Brock on the fly right now. I would say 3-word sentences.
we can work with that. We can work with that.
Okay.
So we're doing Cyrano de Bergerac?
King Scratch
Yeah.
suck.
King Scratch sucks. King Scratch. Yeah, actually, just as a chant.
We could try that from this side, except we only got one person that can speak it. Well, I guess if he's teaching on the fly, you got 2.
Just repeat after me, and in Goblin, King Scratch sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, make the charisma roll.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, you are so less than pleased right now.
Uh,
Oop.
hey, who said that? Is someone here? No, was it you? No, not me. I'm King Scratch's biggest fan. I would never say
Next
such a thing
loud.
as like that.
Say it again, extra loud. King
I don't
Scratch.
I don't think it's working, you guys.
All right.
Oh,
Plan
I'm
B.
gonna.
We should maybe we should just get back to stocking the supplies. I hate doing that. It's very dangerous. I know, but King Scratch wants us to.
Bang on the door and says King Scratch sucks.
Are you sure?
I think we've kind of like blown our element of surprise here. So do I think I could kick this door open?
Yeah, you're pretty sure you could.
All right, it's time to be decisive. So I'm just gonna kick the door open and do what adventurers do best.
All right. Cock-a-boom.
Okay, is that a strength check?
You can just click the door open.
Okay, I'm just gonna click the door open. All right, we got a few.
Now
Ah!
say it again as we
Ah!
walk in. King Scratch sucks.
Humans! Oh, and a dwarf too! They're so disgusting! Oh!
Your mob was disgusting in Goblin.
How dare you speak our language? You're not good enough for it, dwarf. Everybody, kill the dwarf.
Well, I will say King Scratch sucks, and I'm gonna hold my ground in the doorway because if they're coming at us, like we can use it as a choke point.
Are you invisible, Merid?
Yes, I'm still invisible.
Okay,
I
yeah.
never
So
took it off after we came up.
yeah, so they didn't even see, and they don't really see Svardfisk either. So yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of back there, but me and Stickbeard are in the doorway, ready to take the charge.
Okay.
Well, I
so
gotta-
you're taking the charge in that case. So these two will charge you immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that charges you, Stickbeard, says, "It's an objective truth that dwarves' beards smell like cheese."
Stickbeard, I didn't want to say anything, and I usually wouldn't have side with the guys that are trying to kill us, but they do have a bit of a point.
I let out the biggest grunt in the universe and glare Brock in the face and go, "I like cheese."
I mean, it's tasty. It's packed full of calories.
Go ahead and make some attack rolls, guys, and then we'll do
Okay.
initiative. This is the engage as it is.
Okay. Yeah.
So you want me to make an attack roll? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Christ.
Okay. Yeah, not great. My attack rolls have been pretty bad.
These do kind of suck.
Okay, so whiff and whiff. This goblin on this side goes, "Hey, there's a human and a dwarf here. Yeah, we should do something." And he's kind of yelling in this general darkness.
Mm-hmm.
So, Svardvisk, you're gonna want to keep an eye on that north door because they might flank us through that
Shit.
avenue. Probably should
Well,
have spiked that door closed before we started, but
Well, I mean, I have a movement and an action. Can I just go ahead and spike that door now, please?
Yes, you can.
All right, that's what we like to hear.
Merid, what are you doing? You basically.
Merit, still being invisible, will, with purple hair and violet eyes, trounce across the room, get totally behind all of these goblins here.
Okay.
And
Your elven eyes can see that to the south it looks like a dead end, but to the north is a open corridor.
yes.
This might be another good sleep might be useful here.
Sure. And what's my range on that again?
No, you're fine. Just go ahead and roll 2d8.
All right.
Invisibility does drop though.
Yeah, once you take
right.
the action. Where'd we go? I'm on the wrong page. Oh, you said just roll 2d8.
Yep, just roll
Yeah,
2d8.
that's how it works.
I forget.
/r space 2d8. Okay, yeah, that puts him to sleep.
All right.
What does the sleep spell look like, by the way?
I would say a low rolling glittery mist. comes up from their ankles, and they just kind of look down and then breathe it in. Poof. Good night. What happened?
So yeah, they're all asleep.
Okay. The silence there made me think I just lost my internet again. I'm like, no.
I forgot to
No, you're
turn
good.
my mic button on.
And Game Master, if I could ask real quick, how much longer are we planning on going?
Just a little bit. The combat is over.
Okay. Well, why don't we like step over these slumbering goblins and check out this north corridor, because that's the direction they were shouting. So
Yeah.
reinforcements might be coming from that direction. Oh, wait a minute. I've got a suspicion here. Oh my god, there it is.
Excuse me.
Okay, so we got like explosive barrels up here.
Hmm.
How about we just set these things to blow and then get out of here?
Yeah. So when the goblin was yelling earlier, you look to your left to the west and to your right to the east. Those are giant hallways that lead to other parts of this dungeon.
I see. Okay, so we kind of like, yeah, so we did what I hoped we were going to do, which was like we avoided a lot of the dungeon and kind of got into their powder stores here.
Can we take some of that?
That's what I was thinking.
Well, yeah, like how heavy are these barrels?
Uh, uh, like each one is 400 coins.
Ooh,
So
so it's like
they're big kegs. They're not little powder kegs.
they're not little powder kegs. Okay, so well, let's start rigging up a fuse, because we can. So this is what I'm thinking. We crack open one of them, drag it along the ground so it leaves a kind of a rough fuse. We go all the way back into the room we came through. Then we light it, escape down into the
Grotto.
grotto below, and then escape. Does that sound like a workable plan?
Yes.
Yes. Although that means we lose access to some stuff that could be cool.
Yeah, well, we can sift through the rubble,
Yeah, I
and
guess.
this will at least take all of this like explosive powder out of the equation, which appears to be a
Well,
big part of King Scratch's plan.
so if we blow this up, Mr. GM, is that going to remove this whole area up here and over here and over here, or is it everything just on this side of these pillars?
Well, if these ruins, as Stickbeard knows, is anything like the other ruins that these things exploded in, all they'll leave are scratch marks or scorch marks.
Okay then. So it's not necessarily going to make the place tumble. We could still come back at a later time.
Right, but
Yeah.
if we get rid of all this powder, that massively reduces the threat of these goblins. So,
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fine. As long as we have the opportunity to potentially come back, because there's still rooms to explore. There was another door where I was standing earlier.
all right, well, yeah, I think we should do that then, because we don't know how much time we have before goblins start rushing in here. So,
Yeah.
I think Brock's gonna like puncture one of these barrels, hoist it, and then kind of just walk along.
You can carry that much weight? Plus what you have?
I'm like,
Dang, man.
Wait,
um,
wait,
um,
wait, 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 wait. I'm having a moment here. These are barrels, right?
Yeah.
Roll them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could
Then we
just sort
can
of
take
roll them.
more.
Yeah, but going down the shaft to get to the grotto and then the path that we had to go through the grotto to get it back out, like we could do it for more up here, but not for necessarily taking any with us.
I'm just saying, if we roll them, we can at least do 2 people to 1 barrel.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So either way, it's like the same plan of we're making a fuse. Once we've got it in place, we light it and then escape into the grotto.
Sounds good.
Yeah, shall we say then we're trying to take 2 barrels with us? And also, side note, I'm going to reclaim the spike I used on the north door.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So we use 2 barrels to make.
How are you going to lift a 400-coin barrel over the section of the grotto where we needed to use spikes to climb a wall to get around the water?
Yeah, the
I
barrels are pretty impractical.
That's
Yeah,
why I
we're-
said we
it-
can't
we're-
take the barrels with us, but we can use them to spread the fuse out. We can
Yeah.
can use more than one barrel for that.
Yeah. It's like the
Okay.
plan doesn't change.
Okay.
It's still the same plan.
Okay, pardon me.
We just make a bigger fuse, which increases our chances of success.
Okay, great. We do it.
Okay. So go ahead and, probably someone not with a lantern, go ahead and look in the room.
Boom. There is a lot of barrels in here, guys.
Yeah, so I don't know, it's kind of one of those moments where your character's like, what are these goblins planning to have
Mhm.
this many barrels?
So we're looking at least 26 barrels of powder, guys.
Oh boy.
Plus
Hey, it's
the four that they had stashed in the ruins, like close to your guys' camp.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be 0 in a minute, and after we've done our sabotage, we can try and figure out what we'll do next.
Radio. Burn it all!
So there is a rumbling from the distant tunnels to the east and west as eventually, like, somebody down the chain, probably goblins out of sight running away, gathered reinforcements, and
Hurry.
as they come back, you've already set up the last of your fuse.
Yep. And then
Yep.
we light it. Make sure that it takes, and then we get out of here.
Down the grotto steps we go. Doodle-doo-doo-doo.
You do hear on your way out of the grotto, and we'll just put you back to camp because, you're only a mile away, half from your camp. Nothing
Sure,
bad
sure.
happens. You actually get home before lunch.
Hey.
But you're definitely wearied out. Your boots are soaking wet.
We brought Vossett back with us, right?
Yeah. I assume you did. He waited for
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys.
I hope so.
Yeah. That much should have been obvious.
And he says, "Wow, there was a pretty big blast down there."
Yeah, we're not done, but we definitely found out they're definitely doing some things down there.
I told you.
We're really lucky you happened by the camp, Vothag.
And
I can honestly
he
say
genuinely smiles and says, I might get annoyed at how much I might start liking you guys.
So how'd them goblins taste, by the way?
I mean, it's all right. I ate them more out of, pure spite than anything, but felt
All
pretty
right.
good. Felt cathartic.
Good. I don't know how much meat we can necessarily provide you, so anytime we run into those situations, you're more than welcome, buddy.
Well, I surprise Vothag by saying, "Hey, I saved something for you from the goblins we put to sleep there in the caverns.
Oh.
And I toss him an arm.
Oh.
Wow, bad. I hate it.
That's awesome.
he gives you. He's like
Thanks.
he begrudgingly takes it, and he's like, I'm gonna eat this, but not that I was that hungry to begin with.
Oh, that's fantastic.
All right. So, and we like hear the explosion and everything, and
On our way out, we had to have.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
Vothik heard it.
They're I'm sorry. Yeah, Vothik heard it. So yes, you guys hear the explosion and actually hear some goblin screams in the process.
all right.
They sound like those chicken toys. Anyway,
No,
um,
now I feel bad.
but so yeah, that ends. As far as you're concerned, you put a dent in the goblin operations.
I think I feel pretty good about that.
I would hope
We'll
so.
have to save taking down Keen Scratch for another time, but that feels like progress to me.
So I guess do we want to start to make a separate pile for potentially magic booty?
I think it goes to the total haul. We just have to note that it's not.
Yeah, there's room for it in the total haul.
Yeah,
You have an unidentified Gambison.
yeah, we got it. I'll just kind of put that on the list. I'm on the thing right now.
Oh, we should probably remove the other things that we took out, right?
I mean, we're probably just going to put them back in the total haul so other people can use them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And we never did. So we never did use the wand, right? So it
Didn't
still
use the
has.
wand. I'll put the silver shield back. I'll throw the ring of fire resistance in there.
I'll drop.
We've got it.
I'll go ahead and drop the ring back in for anybody. The invisibility one, and you can have your shield back. Your
Yeah,
basic.
thanks. I'll kind of put my AC back accordingly so I don't forget. Okay.
Well, thank you guys for playing.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having.
thank
really
you,
good
Gabe.
session, man.
Yeah, thank you, Game Master. That was great.
And thank you, chat, for watching. If you wanted to keep up on all serious industry streams, the best way to do that is to give this channel a follow. Alternatively, you can join us on social media. We have Discord, Facebook, and Twitter where we do stream announcements. There's also the website, shatteredempire.net. Shattered Empire is a post-apocalyptic interstellar synthwave-fueled tabletop RPG. If you go to the website, you can get the free alpha. The free alpha has everything you need to make your own character, and if you're a crafty enough game master, you might be able to make your own campaign. So check that out. And thanks again, everybody, for watching. This is Abacus Fish, signing off.